fucking nigger! You fucking nigger! He's gonna give us an escort to Freddie's car. Oh, fuck yeah. And he's gonna let the boss.
Look at all the niggers coming, man.
I
think we got problems, J-Bo.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned. I was like, you guys are driving the truck, and my little ass is gonna be walking by all the niggers. And they call us cowards, but we're out here.
Goddamn right. We do this shit.
Yeah,
burn that bitch up.
Burn that bitch out, man.
Burn
Let
that
that
bitch
bitch
up.
burn. Let that bitch burn.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about?
I'm out.
Still liquor license off 15 shit. Purple, man. Get them boys the
Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck y'all flag. Hitler been dead. Y'all living in the 40s.
What's up? Ain't nothing. That's what going on, man. That shit, man. Burn that bitch, man. You feel me?
Yeah, burn that bitch up.
You feel me? Burn that bitch out, man.
Burn
Let
that
that bitch
bitch up.
burn. Let that bitch burn.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about?
I'm out.
Still liquor license off 15 shit. Purple, man.
Get them boys the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck y'all flag. Hitler been dead. Y'all living in the 40s.
What's up?
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect, you Akim and you Akwath, also your children that believe on this word. It's your brother Kalakar of GMS Northwest. Coming back at you with another video. And as you can see in the beginning clips, it's a lot of division, a lot of divide that's going on in the borders of the United States of America. You know, I saw this on X about these Nazis, you know, taking the streets in Ohio and, you know, carrying swastika flags and whatnot, you know, which, you know, I think is a psyop. I think it's to get Jake roused up. Not only that, you know, get the, you know, fuel this civil war that's coming, you know, to America. You know, black versus white, white versus black, purple versus this versus that. You know, the Lord even says he's a man of war. In the scriptures, what's that? Exodus. Yeah, Exodus 15 and verse 3, it says, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, is a man of war. The Lord is his name, and we know the name of the Lord is Yahweh, and the son name is Yahushua. But there's plenty of wars that's going on, you know, that's going to continue to go on. Like I said, inside the shores of America, you got the trade wars going on, which Canada and the U.S. are going at each other about tariffs and, who's going to, put tariffs on this and what's going to put tariffs on that, and affecting the people. At the end of the day, prices are higher, items are higher, So Trump, with his executive orders, I think they put it on a 30-day hold, but Canada didn't move. Canada didn't budge, nor did Mexico. And not only with Mexico, he said that, they're trying to fight the, the fentanyl and the drug trafficking and whatnot through Mexico. So he wanted Mexico to send 100,000 troops, to the borders, which they already been doing that. So now they're labeling the cartel as terrorists because they're going at it with the U.S. forces down there. So, a lot of division, a lot of, evilness is continuing to build upon the earth. And like I said, we know that a civil war is coming to the shores of America. Even Yahushua said in the Matthew, as a matter of fact, before I get this, let's get that real quick. Matthew 10 and 34. Matthew 10 and verse 34, it says, "Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe should be of his own household." So we know that division, the Lord is sending that division throughout the land of America and throughout the parts of the world. Starting with Nero Caesar Trump Nero Caesar, getting rid of his allies, saying that America needs to be great again. America needs to go in this golden age again. And the way that America goes into this golden age is by them exercising their power and might, because America is that front runner. America is that driver's seat that drives the whole world. Everybody looks up to America. But in the recent years, Esau, through America has been exposed, especially, it's the apostles, the elders, the bishops, the apostles. They've been on the scene for 30 plus years talking about this, and it's coming to our very eyes. But Esau, through the power of America, has influenced the whole world with its democracy, its laws, its statutes, and people have drinking this cup and drinking this wine, and they have transgressed, and they're mad, they're upset. So people are not looking at the United States as a powerhouse. Look at Russia. Take BRICS for instance, right? Now you got other countries, like, say for instance, Mexico. Since Trump want to put all these tariffs and all of this, and saying that the cartel and all of this down there is the enemy and they're terrorists, Mexico, is thinking about joining BRICS, that digital currency that, the word BRICS means Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And we know what Trump just did to South Africa. He's removing all that aid. So again, and the dollar is weakening as we speak. As we do these lessons, the dollar is weakening. And we know that Trump want to make this, the crypto capital of the world. So all this transparency, all of this is moving towards what the MOTB, which you got scoffers out there thinking, taping the chip to their hand and eating it. Bugged out, man, bugged out. I just saw Apostle Tahar do a video on Vocab Malone that he admitting to what the RFID chip is, the mark of the beast. But going back to this, the Lord is bringing a sword upon the earth. There won't be peace, so buckle down and get ready. It says Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries. Aren't we set up to prophesy to these nations, many countries? In Isaiah the 34th chapter, it talks about us being a prophet to the nations, not only to our nation, but to the nations as well. And against great kingdoms, this is a great kingdom, but it's on its last leg. But America was great at one point, through its lies and through its robbery, even people are uproar about how Kendrick Lamar did his performance when, America was built off the backs of you Jakes, man, of Jake. I wouldn't say you Jake, like I'm excluded. The backs of Jake, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you built up this country from the first, when it was, they got 250 plus years of free labor with no return. And then they like to disprove that and say, I didn't see anybody building this. And they obviously don't know the history, or they're just in denial about what the hell is going on. And that performance showed you how the so-called black man, or I would just say the slavery, all the tribes, are in this type of video game, this simulation where this isn't real life. This is, the brothers was talking about it yesterday, day before, how this is far more than oppression. It's oppression, but if we had a better word for oppression, we'll use it, or a more, something that makes it, get under the skin a little bit more, because this is not a way to live. This is not, a righteous way to live upon the earth. So we know that sooner or later, Esau's on borrowed time. The Lord is gonna take this man out. But we see the uproars of the people. We see the division, the infighting, amongst, the people that's inside of America. Whether you red or blue, whether you black or white, whether you, Latino, or it don't matter. There's always going to be some type of division that's growing and growing and growing and growing in America, where America is going to be on the outskirts, and every nation is going to be against her. That's so same thing with that tiny state of Israel. These nations are going to shoot their missiles, their ICBM missiles, their hypersonic missiles at this place, man, and at that tiny state of Israel, and every nation is going to be against, America and that tiny state of Israel, and they're going to kill this whore. Thus say the scriptures. Going back to Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war, of evil, and of pestilence. So like I said, we got the wars going. We got the civil war cooking off, with these, like I said, it could be a psyop, or it could be some real, straightforward Edomites. But, it could be the CIA, trying to get Jake roused up, trying to, incite Jake to, so they can make an order out of chaos. They create a chaos and then bring in laws to justify what they're going to do. And we already seen that bill in Mississippi 1484 or something like that, where you can be here. Let's look it up real quick through the spirit. Oh, I had the definition of civil war. We can get back to that too. $14.84 bill, which it hasn't been passed, but it's been proposed. It's been brought to light. Yeah, here it is. It's Slovakia, Mississippi legislature kills bill to pay bounty hunters to track undocumented immigrants. So it was killed, but they're putting bounty. This is slave hunting. The original police started with slave patrol. Going around capturing Jake that ran away from their slave owner. And this is the same thing here, because back in that time when you run away, you're undocumented. Where you come from, who you with, what plantation did you belong to, and if you don't have any of that, then you're undocumented. So that means that slave bounty hunter can take you back to where you came, put you in jail and whatnot. Let's read a little bit on this. It says the Mississippi legislature killed a proposed bill to create a bounty hunting program for people who entered the U.S. illegally. The legislation if passed, will have created a bounty hunting program to hunt down immigrants funded by the state. Now it's saying immigrants and whatnot, but we know who it's talking to. It's talking to the the northern tribe. But this would trickle down to Jake if he breaks the laws and whatnot. And they got something very sinister up their sleeve. So how are they going to push this? How are they going to get a law like this to be passed? They got to create a chaos to do this. A black swan event, a something that has to, the lawmakers say, oh, we got to stop that. We can't let that happen. You can read more into it if you want. I'll just bring it out for a example. But of war, like I said, civil war, you got the trade wars going on. You got, economic war going on. You got, food wars, and just all types of wars. Like we read in the beginning, the Lord is a man of war. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Of evil, we see the evils that's growing, that's being multiplied in the earth. There's no peace here. There's no security here in America. You never know how the devil be operating. Well, we know in the now, we know the ones that's in the now, we understand how the devil operates and how he gets down. But more and more evils are going to multiply in the earth, and it's going to continue to ramp up, until this man is taken out of power. America is going to be done, be unrecognizable, and then those missiles are going to come, and those so-called UFOs, spaceships. But we know the MOTB is right around the corner. We know it's right around the corner. They remember Trump is going to come out with Warp Speed 2.0, and pestilence. We see the pestilence moving through the animal kingdom, as far as the birds and the cows, taking out wild cats, big cats. These are, and I believe they coined that there would be 10 plagues, pestilent plagues, or 10 plagues. That's when Trump got into office. So, sit back and enjoy the ride, because this place is, is circling the drain. The prophet which prophesied of peace. Now, who is this doing this? This is Trump. He's saying peace in the Middle East and peace in Gaza, when we know what they want to do with Gaza. They want to take the Palestinians out of there, replace them somewhere else, and build up their new metropolis that's over there, filled with, cities, smart cities, and just, commerce and merchants and things like that. Remember, a bastard shall dwell at Ashdod. When you go into that word bastard, it means incest. And not only that, didn't he just say he did some peace treaty or nuclear peace deal with Iran? So, and now he's meeting with Russia, and they're gonna, but we know in these, their strings are being pulled by the Lord. When they say peace and safety, sudden destruction coming. That's in First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. So we know that peace and safety is not coming, or that they should say peace and safety, but we know that's not coming. America is not going to be great again. You're not going to have, we down here for another 20 years, waiting for the Lord. No, that's not going to happen. Being oppressed even more and just moving, prophesying and going through the motions and nothing ain't happened. No, the more we speak upon this, the more we bring it out, the more the Lord is getting active. Verse 9 again, it says, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. So like we were saying, there ain't going to be no peace. And if you're saying that peace is coming, you're not a prophet of the Lord in this time. You're saying peace is coming. We know peace is going to come in the kingdom of heaven. And before the kingdom of heaven comes, Edom has to push his MOTB to everybody and make it mandatory. World War III has to happen, Armageddon, the battle of Yehoshaphat, and then the second coming of our Lord, where he's not going to meet us as a man, like when he walked the earth. He's going to meet us as an angelic power, coming back in so-called UFO spaceships, zapping monuments, zapping trees, people, with concentrated fire from laser beams coming out. That's what we're prophesied. That's what's prophesied, and that's what we're waiting on, patiently waiting on. So, going to this Civil War definition, a civil war is a violent conflict between groups of people within the same country. The goal of one side may be to change the government, gain independence for a region, or take control of the country. You might as well say company, because America is a corporation. Civil wars are large-scale, sustained, and politically organized. They involve groups of citizens that are numerically important. They involve a struggle of control of the monopoly of force. So, like I said, like these videos, you see these so-called, you see these Nazis and whatnot, and then you see so-called black people, burning their flags and whatnot, and standing up, this Jake in his truck, dancing around with his gun. And not only that, you got Kanye West out here selling swastika shirts, So like I said, it's the divide, trying to create that divide. And then like you have those small hatters, putting on Kanye with a middle finger, saying, with a middle finger, fuck you, Kanye, pretty much. So this is what the elites want. They want the division. They want the divide so they can bring in the laws. So, if you're not smart enough, if you're not hip enough, you're not in the, you're not in the understanding of the Lord, you'll be caught out here. Let me go to Proverbs 29 real quick. Proverbs 29 and here we can start at 2, then we'll jump down. Proverbs 29 and 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So a lot of groups, a lot of people are in mourning, uproars, they upset, because the wicked beareth rule. Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom. He bearing rule right now. So there's no peace, there's no harmony, there's, it's just a bunch of sorrows. And the sorrows are multiplying in the earth. This is the beginning of sorrows. You see a lot of judgment happening, a lot of death happening, a lot of misfortune is happening in the earth because this wicked is ruling. But when the righteous in authority, people are going to rejoice. People are going to be happy. Kids are going to be able to play in the streets without getting taken and put in a container and shipped across the world, or shipped somewhere in the United States, or put on the back of a truck, where they're found, they're screaming and whatnot. This is a wicked society that we live in, Let's jump down here to 16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgressions increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. So yeah, we're seeing that this, with this current presidency, you know, that's in office right now, that the Lord is using, through the small hats, through the wicked elite, Esau, the Illuminati, through them using Trump as a puppet, to carry out their goals that they want to do, and they found the right one to do it. If Kamala was in there, she would not be, she'll push the same idea because she has to, but it won't be as glorious as this Edomite, this hardcore Edomite to the core, his soul, man, his spirit. You can see that he has the Nero Caesar type deal. And I believe I got a book that's called The 12 Caesars I'll be reading in and out of, reading up on Caesar's life. And I believe either his grandfather or his father said that whoever was, I think Agrippa was his mother, Agrippa. I gotta look back. I can't remember, but they said that whoever, nothing good, nothing but terribleness, I'm paraphrasing, will come out of that, and Nero came out of it. So, and not only that, Nero, I put it in the chat with the brothers, Nero said that, he quote, this is what he said to his people that he bring into office. What my needs are, make sure they have nothing. So if we don't understand that this is the spirit of Nero Caesar coming back again, your spiritual eyes are not open. But like it said in when in First Maccabees, right? When the wicked when Alexander the Great died and those 4 generals rose up in his stead, evils were multiplied in the earth. Same thing is saying here, Proverbs 29:16, when the wicked are multiplied, transgressions increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. So we're going to see their fall. Thus say the Bible, and we believe that. This is the generation that gets to see the fall of this enemy, and we all coming back, and and from countless of reincarnations, regenerations, and we finally get to witness this man fall. And not only that, they even scriptures, what's that, Matthew, we'll come back to this, Proverbs 29, Matthew 13 and like 30, so like you bear with me. To see the fall of the enemy. Yeah, here we go. Thawadi Bashim Yao Shah. Start at 15, Matthew 13 and 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, verily means truly, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and not heard them. So many men, that was prophets before, which they're back, but there's no remembrance of things that was before, but we're back in the flesh, Abaratazah, or Adawan Ratazah. We're back in the flesh, witnesses this again, but the ones that came before us, which were us, desired to see this day, this fall of our enemy, You know, I just had to bring that point out. Now we can go back to Proverbs 29 and finish that out. Proverbs 29 and 17, correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yeah, he shall give delight unto thy soul. Verse 18 is the point, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. So if you can't understand this, you're perishing. You know, what's that in Corinthians? I think 1 Corinthians 12, or is it 4? It might be 4, it might be 12, where if our gospel be hid, it's hid to them that are perishing. You know, so you going out there and burning a swastika flag and you know, standing up in a camera and they're not going to do this here and all of this stuff, you know. Well, you don't have the understanding of why this is happening, you know. You won't catch us out there at a Black Lives Matter protest. You won't catch us out there at, say, another so-called black man gets shot in the street unjustly or get choked out in the street unjustly. You're not going to see us form a coalition and go out there and protest what has been done. No, we go out to the street corners and we, through the scriptures, filter out why that happened and let you know why this is going on, instead of just blindly just going to something that you don't even have, you know, an understanding of. That's why it says here is where there is no vision, the people perish, because you don't have no eyesight. You don't have no, the Lord ain't open your eyes to this. You know, he blinded you from getting this understanding and whatnot. That's why you see Jake in the street doing stuff like this. You know, not knowing that the enemy is sly, he's slick, you know, getting you riled up, you know, so they have a means of justifying what they're going to do, you know. Well, they was in the street burning this and they was in the street burning that and saying this and that and blah, blah, blah. So we have to, you know, and not only that, I believe there's a video I put in there, they're carrying guns. I mean, big automatic weapons, you know, like ARs and, you know, thinking that they're, what's that dude named Grandmaster Flash or whatever, J Master J or whatever his name is, they got sent to prison, you know, not fucking around crew, where they carry big ass guns and stuff like that. When Esau's technology is unmatched. He's been given the sword and the fatness of the earth. The sword is these modern day guns, these weapons, you know. Remember, he has to do from heaven, direct energy weapons from heaven. You know, I hope they don't take the video down for that. But, you know, so he can drop a drone the size of a football field on top of your head, you know, and blow you up. So the fact that you're marching in the streets with guns and say you're going to fight against hatred, well, what was this act? You know, Jake is something else, man. That's why the Lord got to get rid of a lot of you, you know. And this shit right here, man, I believe it's AI generated, but it might be real. But who cares, you know? Again, it's the division. You know, they know who we are, you know, so they're going to continue with this masquerade of deceptionists, man. They're deceptive, you know. And then not only that, you had didn't you have Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg do a hate video or something like that, you know? Further, like I said, it's just a psyop, and if you get sucked into the psyop, your ass gonna perish, man. You're gonna be caught out there, you know. But this is, like I said in the scriptures, the Lord is bringing this division in America. Let's go to Mark 3:23. It says, and he called them unto him and said unto them in a parable, who is this? Yahushua. It says, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. So if Satan be divided, you know, he cannot stand. You know, Satan is divided against himself, and that's what we see in this kingdom. Like I said, you got red versus blue, you got black versus white, you got you like mayo, I don't. You know, you like tomatoes, I don't. You know, trade wars, you name it. There's a divide that's in the shores of America, and it's continuing to ramp up. You know, to the point to that civil war. You know, that's talked about in the scriptures. As a matter of fact, what's that? Second Edges, 13 chapter. Hold on, let me search it. Another. 310 scriptures. Good Lord. Oh yeah, I was in the right chapter. Second Edges 13 and 29. It says, "Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth." Yeah, we know those days are coming. Those days are coming to the elect of the nation of Israel, starting with the 144,000, then 1/3 women, men, and children. And that 1/3 is going to be mainly women and children. It says, "And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake a fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, one realm against another." And what is that talking about? That's talking about the civil war. You know, the civil war that's going to be going on here. Let's get an even better one, and the 15th chapter, or Second Edges 15 and verse. I start at 14. "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Woe means destruction. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, the swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and great tribulation." So this is that civil war. They're not going to regard their kings nor princes. They're not going to care about the law. You know, when society is breaking loose and all hell is breaking loose, nobody is not going to say, well, you know, if I do this, 911 going to come, you know. Well, if I go up against this, if I go take my neighbor's food, you know, I might get in trouble. No, they're going to disregard that. It says they should, with swords in their hands. And the modern day swords is these guns. You know, and I believe there's, to every person in America, there's 3 guns. You know, that's crazy, you know, 3 or 4 guns to every person in America. So this place is heavily armed, heavily ready to go out with a bang. And we love it, man. We want to get the hell out of here, man. That's why we trust in the Lord, because we know the Lord is sending the division. The Lord is the one that's controlling the minds of these people, of everyone, the angels. You know, it's all in the Lord's plan. You know, you can't go outside of the Lord's plan. You just got to roll with the punches, wherever it might happen or wherever it might go. This is Isaiah 19, Salakia. This is Isaiah 19 and verse. I'm going to start at the top. "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, instead of chariot, and shall come into Egypt." What is Egypt? This is modern day Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of, because the Lord is going to be zapping this place with concentrated fire. Verse 2, it says, I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Man, you can't get around this stuff, man. You can't get around this stuff. Like I said, you got the trade wars, you got the civil wars, you got the economic wars, you got food wars, you got weather wars, you got wars against, humanity. What is Trump trying to do? He's trying to kick the Native Americans out of the land so he can drill. And that comes with consequences, man. So all of these wars, the war, U.S. versus Mexico and the cartel, Canada versus Mexico, they want those rare minerals up there in Canada, So just engage in, don't forget about North Korea. Don't forget about China and Taiwan. Don't forget about Ukraine and Russia. You don't forget about Iran and how Trump said that if they was to take him out, it was going to be, they're going to be obliterated. There will be nothing left there, So at the end of the day, I'm going to finish off with this right here, with Sirach 34. At the end of the day, we trust in the Lord. That's going to be the one that saves us. This is Sirach 34 and 16. All right, let me start at 15. Blessed is the soul of him that feareth the Lord. And what is the fear of the Lord? It's keeping the law, statutes, commandments. We know we're not saved by keeping the law, but it's best that you walk in the laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your abilities. Who do he look, and who is his strength? For the eyes of the Lord are upon them that love him. What is love? Considered in the Bible as keeping the law, statutes, commandments. If you love me, keep my laws, keep my commandments. He is their mighty protection and strong stay, a defense from heat, and a cover from the sun at noon, a preservation for stumbling, and a help from falling or failing. Falling, Salakia. So at the end of the day, who we trust in? We trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Our power is going to take care of us when these things start to, our power is already taking care of us. It's already written and it's already etched in history what's going to happen. So the fact that we have the spirit to keep on enduring and keep on pushing, that means the Lord is going to continue to sup with us and be our protection when shit do really start hitting the fan. We've been depositing in this spiritual bank account, putting our treasures in heavens, in the heavens, doing our due diligence, doing our studying, doing our reading, going out there on the highways and byways, being upright in society, not walking around with a unit on our face all the time, even though we know what we're up against and what's coming. Stand sane, stand grounded, stand balanced with all this chaotic stuff, because the Lord can have you into anything out here, but he got you into the truth. So the water Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're not going to fret at anything that happen. We're just going to keep up and keep moving, keep praying to the Lord, and the Lord is going to deliver like he promised. You just got to believe. You got to keep that faith. You got to keep going. So with that said, I hope you was exhorted. I hope you was edified. I hope you got something out of this. Shalom. Hope to see you on the next video, Lord willing.